Policemen of Reddit. What crimes did you see the aftermath of that were so cool that you didn't want to arrest the criminal? I had a case in my first year as an officer where a drunk man launched his car off a boat ramp. We approximated that he was going 50 miles per hour and the car landed in 20 feet of water. 4.0. He swam out, ran 8 miles to his uncle's house and stole his tow truck. He then drove the truck back, swam down and hooked the tow cable to the axle of the car, and then proceeded to pull the tow truck into the water as well. We were called on scene and we could only see the headlights and the tip of the hood above water. He was passed out asleep on the dock next to it. A friend of mine used to be a hash dealer, and for some reason he spent his money on reptile habitats. Giant glass enclosures, connected by tunnels, plant life everywhere, dozens of different reptiles living in a lush green world. When he got busted, cops were calling other cops to come take a look. Some even went to get cameras. This was the 90s, because they were so blown away by what they were seeing. Of course they still arrested him, but in the cops' eyes he had become cool reptile guy instead of just another drug dealer they were arresting. This one always gets me. In my city, a homeless man was breaking into homes by lockpicking. Nothing unusual with that. However, what he did was brilliant. He would wait until he knew the times people wouldn't be home and would clean their homes for them. He averaged a week or so per home going unnoticed. The first few homes he was never caught, but signs of a home invasion were reported to us. On the house he did get caught and he used the defense that he was cleaning a home that he was hired to clean and mistakenly got the house wrong and the door was left open. Armed with nothing but a cell phone he made fake email correspondence to back his claims from a client with a similar address. He was able to overall, unproven but speculated, stay for upwards of a month in homes. In court his defense was actually successful because the other cases he couldn't be linked to and was only prosecuted for the one. Then with his defense his lawyer only got him 14 days in jail. Guy never took anything outside of food. He would clean their house, eat, shower and nap, and then leave. Not a policeman, but a cool dude. Police guy stopped me for speeding one Christmas day many years ago. I was late for my night shift at work so was in a hurry. When he stopped me, I was thinking shit. I'm a big black guy in a BMW with tinted windows. Surely it looks dodgy as hell. I live in the UK. After apologizing, explaining, and showing him my details, he knew I was legit and not trying to pull a fast one. So he said follow me, and he put on his police car light on and helped me speed through the traffic to be at work on time for the night shift. To this day I see him around and buy him a beer in the local pub whenever I can. I'm a cop, but I can't for the life of me think of a good answer for this prompt. I guess the closest would be the group that stole, I want to say tens of thousands from a big box retailer. They had a guy climb into the ceiling in one part of the store, drop into the office with the safe right after a cash drop, steal everything, then leave the same way. There were at least 3 people involved. Plus we were reasonably certain the lady who forgot to close the safe was in on it, but as far as I know there were never any arrests made. Don't steal, but that beats the hell out of the guys getting snatched up stealing a fifth of dark eyes. We used to have this campus police officer that would come chill at the picnic table with us while we smoked the electric lettuce. He said he loved the smell and enjoyed being around us while we were goofy. That and we weren't drunks destroying everything in our path like the rest of the students. Come to think of it, my college was liberal as hell. This was 12 years ago in any Pennsylvania. Weed was essentially legal on my campus, but they really enforced underage drinking. I wanna hear from real cops though. Not a cop, but my dad was. He pulled over the local ice cream truck in my town because the driver failed to stop at the stop sign. While reviewing his papers he realizes the guy's license is expired and his permits to operate the ice cream truck hadn't been renewed yet that summer. Instead of writing him ticket after ticket and essentially ruining this man's yearly income, he gave him 2 weeks to sort it out. Ice cream man got all his stuff in order and at the end of the summer dropped off 4 massive boxes of ice cream to our house as a thank you. Never ate so many screwballs in all my life. I'm not a cop, but I've been let go by the cops a number of times when I was a wild youth. First, there were many times I just walked calmly past the cops busting a house party. They were too busy having fun chasing the kids running or hiding. Another time, I was out joyriding with my friend soon after the 4th of July. We were in a rural area and had some fireworks in the car. We hadn't seen a car for miles, so I had the brilliant idea for Roman candle jousting. I held the candle outside and shot out above and in front of the car so we would drive through the sparks. It was great watching all the colorful bursts shower over the windshield. We did 2 candles and decided we would do one more and be done. The last candle, we passed a dark car on the side of the road for the last round of sparks. Quickly, we realized the car was following us fast, so my friend put the pedal down to get away. I think we got up to 70 before the cops' lights came on, and we realized we were doomed. We pulled over immediately, of course. In the end, the cops confiscated our fireworks and told us we would be receiving civil fines in the mail. Those fines never came. I was not the cop in this, but I assume that the cops thought I was so cool that they let me go. I was at this party that was busted up by cops, and I was stuck upstairs in a room that may or may not have had illegal substances in it. I can't recall. It was this cool house with a balcony over a pool, and beyond the pool was a gate out towards the street. So I was like, I know what I'll do. So I went out on the balcony and jumped into the pool. And then a few cops started walking around the pool and looking at me and at the balcony with confused smiles on their faces and commenting on my dive-bombing technique and also refusing to join me in the pool. Eventually I got out of the pool. I was underage and high and drunk as a motherfucker, and all that they did was call my uncle and say come and get him and bring a towel. They didn't even investigate where I had originated from, so that was a nice diversion if it was required, which I don't recall. I know a guy who grew up in Vegas in the 60s and 70s. He was outside a fast food place when some guy full on punched his wife in the mouth. There was apparently blood and teeth everywhere. The guy I know was a big dude and hit the husband in the chest and proceeded to beat the shit out of him until cops pulled him off. The wife tried to say the husband didn't do anything and that the hero was the one who attacked both of them. Luckily the manager and employees of the establishment saw everything and called out her bullshit. The guy I know got an award from the city for it. They gave him a plaque and everything. A week later he got pulled over doing 75 miles per hour coming out of his high school parking lot, and the cop recognized him. The cop changed the ticket to read 10 miles per hour over the limit and sent him on his way. When I was 14, I smoked because I was such a badass. Yeah, no. Figured my mom didn't know because teenagers are so sneaky. My mom was dating a cop, and on date night she left and jokingly said no smoking in the house. Well, a few hours later I went to the apartment quad for a smoke and my mom and police boyfriend came home early. She yells, "Are you smoking?" And I was a little shit. I was like, "Yeah, you said don't do it in the house." Her boyfriend was like, "Technically speaking he has your parental permission to smoke, as long as it wasn't inside. So I don't even need to do anything." We did eventually have a talk about the dangers of smoking and blah blah, which totally didn't take, because I was eventually detained by campus police at 16 for smoking on campus during school hours. Got 30 hours of community service. Not as an officer, but as an EMT on site of accident. So this guy was drunk. I mean dumbest drunk, and went over the line and hit a woman with her 3 toddlers head on. Of course he didn't get hurt himself. While the other paramedics were MOing for dead bodies from the other car, we went to check on the drunk guy. He's sitting on the driver's side of the car. Cop is explaining to him what he did as we start looking him over. Drunk says, "I don't care about what happened. I have blood on my $50 jeans. Blood, damn it." My partner slammed his head into the steering wheel. Cop smiled at him. "He'll feel that in the morning." I didn't see anything. Not a cop, but it's a cool story. In my teenage years I was a destructive hellion. I just built my first potato cannon. I'm pumped about firing one off, so I run outside to test it. I aim it fairly straight in the air and boom. I look down the street and see this man pop out from around the fence. He was an own child molester and had been busted for it a decade before we moved into our house. So I see him. I see the potato. I look at him. I look at the potato. Oh god, it's going his direction and then hits him square in the shoulder. Odds? I freak out and run into my house. Like an idiot change my shirt thinking I won't be recognized. 15 minutes later, knock on my door, female police officer there, and wants my side of the story. She goes to talk to him again, then comes back. This time she has him with her. He is 6'8", 350 pounds. I'm freaking out internally at this point. She tells me that I just have to apologize. I tell him sorry, he walks off. The cool part, after he leaves, she tells me nice shot, don't do it again, and let me keep my potato cannon.